Right, overhaul, 91 hours. 91 hours, and I'm looking like I've been through them all, don't I? Right, okay, so we're going to be getting into flexibility this morning. I don't know why I walked over there. We're going to be getting into flexibility. It's only flexibility this morning. So it's a good stretch session. So I want it to be productive for you. Remember, stretching shouldn't, well, it can be, but in this instance, I want you to try and develop. I want you to get better at your range of movement. In order to do that, you need to be pushing it. Okay, so don't ease in and out. Some stretches will be easy for some will be very difficult for others, etc. You're going to find ones that you struggle with. The ones you struggle with, keep struggling with them. Okay, don't keep easing in and out. We'll be holding each stretch for roughly 2 minutes. Some of them are mobility movements, so you'll be moving within the stretch. Most of them are just for good old static holds. So remember, you take the stretch to the point in which you feel you're at maximum stretch, you focus on trying to relax, keep your deep breathing going, taking that stretch further and further and further for 2 minutes, okay? Don't keep easing in and out. First thing we're going to get into is a good old familiar one. This is a full body flexibility class this morning. Some of these are going to feel good, some of them are going to feel nasty. We're going to start off with an old familiar one, okay? We're going to hit multiple muscle groups at once with this one, and it's a good one to keep practicing, okay? A lot of people struggle with it. Quickly show you where we're going. A lot of people struggle with this one, and it's a matter of keep struggling with it, keep pushing it, keep trying to get better. If you're at home, okay, make sure your hands are wedged on the floor and your feet are wedged on the floor. And all I mean by that is this stretch doesn't work. See, if you're sliding, it's just not going to work because you're going to end up not being able to get a good stretch sensation. So all I'm doing, I'm lifting my hips up and then I'm pushing my hips back, okay? So I'm pushing my hips up and back at the same time. My legs are straight, my knees are locked out, but I don't want you to try and push your kneecaps back, okay? So your knees are locked out, yes, but I don't want you to put too much negative strain on them. I'm pushing down into my heels. Your heels may touch the ground, but it's unlikely that they will, depending on your ankle mobility, and that's fine. Push back, push back, push back, and this is where you have to try and establish the best position you can. When I'm doing this stretch, I try to focus on getting my legs set up first, getting that good stretch running up from the heel all the way up to my lower back into the glutes. Lift your hips up, okay? Try to lift your hips up as if someone's tied a rope to your tailbone and they're just pulling it up, and that'll help take the stretch just a little bit further in your hamstrings and get your pelvis in the correct position. From here, with the hands, push them away from you. Try to straighten out the arms and push the head and chest towards the ground. And from here, you should be able to get a good stretch in the upper back muscles as well. If you're feeling real tight, you'll feel that straight away in at the lats, in and around your armpit area. So it's a static hold, but I'm actively trying to take it further and further and further. Yes, you're spending time on your arms. Your arms are going to get tired. That's normal, okay? Don't be alarmed by that. From here, I'm going to bring my feet close together, and I'm going to drop down, okay? I want you to drop down with those hips nice and slowly and raise up through it. Okay, so it's just like we do at the warm-up of a circuit. We're really going to get into this one, really into the nitty-gritty of it. I want you to keep your fingertips, not your fingertips, your tiptoes on the ground, okay? And your hands are firmly on the ground. And you're pushing up, 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 up and through it. Again, focus on your breathing here. And you're trying to push up to get that nose towards the sky, and you'll feel that tension, that stretch running up the front of your body. If you've done a lot of core work, which we have been doing, especially yesterday, you'll feel a good stretch up the front of your core. Okay, you might feel it in your hip flexors. It's hard to see from the angle that I'm showing you at. It looks probably like my legs are on the floor. They're not, okay? But they're damn close. I can feel the floor brushing almost my kneecaps, but I'm not transferring any weight into it. Okay, and then from here, if you want, you can shake your arms out, only if you need to, but we're going to go back up. Okay, we're going to go back up, back into the original position. Now we should feel a little bit mobile. Okay, you should feel a little bit more mobile. So we're pushing those hips up, 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 up. From here, it's your stretch, but I urge you to copy me, not copy me, but do what I'm telling you to do. Even if it's, well, especially if it's tough. I want you to take your left hand, everybody, and I want you to reach across and try and grab your left knee. If that's easy enough, try to grab the middle of your shin. If that's easy enough, reach for your ankle. Now that should be tough. Okay, I want you to feel that stretch, hold it for 5 seconds, and then change sides. And when I'm doing this, make sure you've got that normal foundation of that stretch there. Don't start breaking form in order to reach your foot. So you should still be pushing the hips up and back. All that happens when you reach across is you'll enhance the stretch either in your hamstrings, in at the groin. But I want you to try and push your hips higher and further back to get to that foot. Don't bend your knee. Do not break form. And this is tough. So please, don't choose not to do it because it's tough. All the more reason to do it if it is. So you're really trying to reach. It's okay if you can't. If you're reaching for the ankle and you can't quite get there, like you can see, I can't. Try and reach and keep going, keep going. As long as you're trying to take it further, you're going to better yourself here, okay? From here, everybody, we're going to drop back down into one final drop of the hips and up. And remember, we're trying to get the stretch out of this movement. Okay, so try and feel the stretch. You're pushing up through the arms. You're trying to lift the head as high as you can and get the nose as high as you can. It's done off a feel, but it's very easy just to sit in this position here with all the weight on your hips, just kind of letting gravity pull you down. We're not getting much of a stretch, we're just feeling a lot of stress on my lower back. So I want you to make sure you're trying to push up. Like I say, a lot of time on the arms, so your arms might be getting tired, and your wrists might be getting tired. But we're just about done. Good. And then slowly drop to the knees and relax there, everybody. Right, okay. While we're down here, we're on all fours. We're going to mobilise the spine quickly. Okay? It's better if you watch me for a couple of seconds just to see what I'm doing. All I want you to do here is just simply overextend and flex the spine. And how we do that is just simply overextend, lift the head, similar to what we've just done. When you're doing that, everybody, I want you to try and take it far, but to a point, okay? Don't take it to the point where you feel like you're going to snap your spine, but not far off it, okay? So take it, take it, take it. Pause for 5 seconds. Feel that stretch. Remember, you're trying to lift the nose up towards the sky. And then I want you to transition into that nice flexion, okay? So that's us now bending the spine, pushing through the arms. And with this one, I want you to take it as far as you can with this one, okay? Imagine someone's sucking your spine up with a vacuum from the center. It's going higher and higher and higher. You're pushing through the hands. You're splaying the shoulder blades apart. And you're really feeling all those upper back muscles getting stretched out. All the while, we're mobilizing the spine. 5 second, good pause. And on the pause, I want you to take it further and further and further. And then we transition back in to overextension. So when you're doing this, everybody, I want you to think about the shoulder blades. Okay, try to keep them pulled together on this movement, because this is where you'll identify any imbalance. If you go in there, you'll feel straight away if one shoulder's higher than the other. So try to correct yourself. If things are feeling a bit offline, pull it in line. Remember, we're trying to mobilize ourselves into these positions the way we want our body to move. And then again, 5 second pause, take it further. So this is a great movement again. This is us mobilizing the spine itself. So you've got lots and lots of muscles running in the spine, connecting into the spine. That's us helping mobilize and get that mobility and flexibility into the spine. But also, if there's restriction in the big muscle groups, the upper back muscles, the lower back muscles to some degree, chest and shoulders, you'll feel that restriction as well on those big muscle groups when you're doing this. So again, really try and go for it when you're going into flexion, as in you look like an N almost. Really go for that one. Take it as far as you can. Don't forget to bring the lower back into it. Let the hips rise as well. Good. Fantastic. Good. Right, relax there. And I want you to stand up tall now. Okay, I want you to stand up tall. Stand up tall, we're going into another familiar stretch now. Again, in a warm-up, we kind of brush through it. I'm going to explain it in depth what we're trying to do here. Before you start, try to correct your form, posture, etc. So don't just stand up like this and go in. I want you to try and get yourself sorted. So your feet are together, your knees are together, squeeze the butt to bring the pelvis in, okay? If you, when you squeeze your butt, feel like your pelvis travels a lot, as in you squeeze your butt and you feel it coming forward lots and lots, you've probably got a lot of weakness going on here and a lot of tightness that we need to fix. You hear me talking about this before. We're not getting into that today, but that's something to be aware of. Keep the butt squeezed, keep that tension on the glutes to keep the pelvis underneath the body. From here, chest proud, shoulder blades pulled together, look forward. Okay, so I'm stood up nice and tall, nice and proud, and I'm showing you from the side so you can see the actual movement pattern. I'm going to tuck my chin in. So the first and only thing I move is my head by tucking my chin in. So straight away, feeling that stretch, running up the neck extensors into the upper back. And all I want you to do is imagine that you're a tube of toothpaste and I want you to roll it up as if you're trying to get that last drop out because you forgot to buy some more. Okay, so I want you to roll up. Now the point of this is the chin tuck is at the center of the movement always. Now I'm not rushing it, okay? I'm trying to literally tuck myself up as tight a ball as I can. Don't think about going down towards the ground. I want you to simply think about rolling your spine up into a ball as far as you can. Now when we start to descend further and further, be conscious of your knees. Your knees should not be locked out, but they shouldn't be bending. Okay, so we want that soft knee. What tends to happen if your hamstrings are pretty damn tight, or your lower back, glutes area is pretty tight, you'll find that you start to bend the knee to let you go down further. I don't want you to do that. I want you to keep that consistent, soft knee. Okay, that slight bend. Rolling yourself up. Remember, when you get to a point you feel you can't move anymore, tuck the chin in, really roll it up, and imagine you're trying to look back up through your own belly button. When you're there, bring the arms behind the legs and pull yourself in to enhance that stretch. Keep the chin tucked, then try to straighten out the knees. Okay, that'll take it to a whole new level. I want you to focus on taking it to the point in which you feel a real good stretch. Pretty uncomfortable to hold. It's not exactly the most pleasant or relaxing feeling in the world, but remember, we're trying to develop ourselves. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Keep going. Don't let go. You're trying to take it further, remember. So try and go further. Try and roll yourself up tighter. Try and pull yourself in towards your legs more. Keep trying to straighten the legs out more. And keep making sure you get that chin tucked in. We're still holding, everybody. So this is us really trying to better ourselves now. So this is where, for you as an individual, keep holding the stretch. As an individual, you might feel it really in the hamstrings. You might feel it in the glutes. You might feel it in the lower back. Those are the target areas that we're after here. But where exactly you feel it is dependent on yourself. Okay, a lot of people will feel a lot of tightness in the lower back here. A lot of people will feel the movement very restricted because of the hamstrings. We're all different, but the point is we're trying to better ourselves. Take it further. We're going to hold it for another 10 seconds, so really go for it. Really tuck it, really straighten the legs. Good. And relax slowly. Come back up the way you went, but go slow, okay? Go slow on the way back up. Real slow. Reverse the process. Good, until you're finally stood back up tall and proud. Good, and I want you to shake out. Shake out there, okay? Let the blood flow, okay? Get a sip of water if you need it, of course. How are we feeling? Feeling all right? Good. Right, next up, we're going to get into the same movement, but we're going to do it sat down, okay? Now, I do not want you to anchor yourself at all in any way. So this will be tough for a lot of people, okay? We're getting the legs nice and straight. Remember, when you're sat down, like I'm showing you now, try no slump. Okay, let's get out of that bad habit now, that lazy posture where we're just slumped down and all that stress is sitting on the lower back here, okay? So I want you to get up nice and tall, nice and proud, even though we're sat down. This is going to be a tough one for a lot of people, but again, the whole point is it shouldn't be. We're trying to get better, so if it is tough, keep doing it. It's all about taking it to the point you can take it to. Think about the movement we've just done. We're doing the exact same thing here, except we're going whoosh, that way, okay? Happy with that? So again, it's better maybe that you watch me first, get a wee bit of a head start and then go. So all I'm trying to do is just, again, tuck my chin in, and you can use the arms as a reference point, okay? And all I'm trying to do is go towards my feet while keeping that chin tucked in, okay? And this is where you'll really feel it probably in the hamstrings and the lower back, especially here. What I don't want you to do is my knees. I don't want you to start lifting those knees up. Happy with that? So a lot of people on this one will go like this, and they can't go any further. If that's the point you can't go any further at, that's the point you hold, that's the point you try to develop, okay? So it's going to be a tough one, but let's get it done. So once you get into this, you can't see me. So that's why I would like you to make sure you know what you're doing first. Does that make sense? Don't ease in and out of it. Focus on your deep breathing. It's going to give you something to concentrate on, and it's going to help these muscles relax. Happy days. Let's do it. Don't yawn. Don't yawn. Okay. Let's go. roll the chin in. Get those arms and just slowly. This one I want you to imagine you are trying to reach for the feet. Okay, but you can see straight away I'm not the most mobile in this position. But I take it to the point in which I feel I can't go any further and I pause there. Okay, and all I'm going to do now is just try to keep going further and further and further. Take it a wee bit, hold, focus on your breathing. Take it a wee bit further, focus on it, hold on your breathing. The breathing's going to help your muscles relax, like I said. I want you to imagine you're trying to get your head between your knees, which sounds crazy, but that's what I want you to aim for. As in, you need a reference point to aim for. That's what you're aiming for. So chin's tucked. Now you can hold on to your legs. I'm absolutely fine with you. Hold on to your legs to help get you further, to help anchor you. So right now, I'm just walking my hands down my legs, feeling that stretch out, massively in the lower back for a lot of people, like I say, massively in the hamstrings. It's going to be uncomfortable, but you're trying to find a state of relaxation within that discomfort. So again, big breaths. Don't let your knees lift off the floor. Keep those legs locked out here, and that's why it's so restricted. Okay, we're not letting the knees bend, so we're not letting any of those muscle groups shorten. Just keep trying to go further and further and further, being sensible. Okay, be sensible. If things don't feel right, ease off, but only if they don't feel right. Don't ease off because it's uncomfortable. We're trying to convince our brain that it's okay to go to these ranges, and if you just keep going in and out and in and out, that's not going to happen. We need to hold it to convince, and over time, increase our range of movement in these muscles. Take it further, and take it further. And just make sure you are actually taking it as far as you can. Because although it's uncomfortable, you might find that you can actually go a good bit further than you are. And just keep focusing, like I said, on your breathing. Last 20 seconds. So I want you to go as far as you can. This is the point where it's really uncomfortable. You really are taking it as far as you can. Good. And slowly start easing out of it. And as I always say, ease out of it equally. Ease out of it equally. As in, don't just roll off to the side or put a tremendous amount of strain or stress on one side of your body. Right, okay, I want you to stand up, and I would encourage you to get a drink. Just walk around, shake around, and let that blood flow, everyone, okay? Next up, we're getting into the good old glutes. So we're working in and around the hip area. We get into the glutes, and I want you to go for the good old classic seated glute stretch, which is the classic. That means we're sat and hooky on this one, so this isn't an enhanced one. So the good one with this is, I'll show you, I'll get you set up first. We get with one leg out at 90 degrees to the body, okay? 90 degrees. I want you to pin the foot, although you probably don't need to too much because we're not going to be putting that much force down on it. This back leg, it's important with that back leg, everybody. If you don't get that back leg back far enough, this is why a lot of people go like this. Oh, I'm pretty good at this one, okay? You need to get this back leg behind you. What I'm trying to do is have a 90 degree and a 90 degree bend on the back leg also, okay? So chuck that back leg behind you, have a wee look at it, try to get it at roughly 90 degrees, and straight away, if you get it back far enough, you don't even need to move very far forward until you feel a good bit of a stretch coming into that. From here, I want you to again, correct yourself. So if there's a bit of tightness, just with the position we're in also, you're going to find that your body's maybe facing over towards your foot, okay? You feel the predominant alignment going towards your foot, if that makes sense. So straight away, I want you to square yourself up. So sit up nice and tall, nice and proud, and try to get yourself in line with the knee. From here, it's just a simple matter of you now trying to lower yourself towards your knee while keeping yourself tall and proud. And the reason for that is if you look sideways, by me just going like this and bending forwards, I've bent my spine, okay? So all I've done there is bend my spine to get down. I've not increased the stretch on where I'm trying to target here. And where I'm trying to target here is the glutes. And also if the groin's pretty damn tight, you'll feel the groin also. So it's a bit of both on this one. So let's go for it, everybody. Simple stretch, this one, but just make sure you're doing it properly. So again, I'm trying to keep my chest proud. I don't just want to bend forwards. I'm trying to lower myself towards my knee, okay? And there's ways to change the focus on this one, but for right now, this initial minute at least, I want you just to try and take it lower. It's a simple matter of, you can see my arms out to the side. As soon as I start getting lower, I can drop to the elbow a little bit, okay? And I'm trying to lower myself, get my chest in line with my knee and lower towards my knee. Where you feel it depends on you, okay? You'll feel it in your groin probably, and you'll most definitely feel it in the glutes to some degree. If you're not quite feeling it in the glutes and you're feeling it more in the groin, that's fine, or vice versa. We will shift the focus into the glutes after a minute, and I'll show you how to do that as we're in this stretch. But for this first part, just try to push down, 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 down. And again, focus on your breathing. For some people, this will be okay. For others, it will be hellish. But it doesn't matter, okay? As long as you're doing the same principles, you're taking it to the point you can't go further, and then focus on your breathing and try to take it further, and you will be able to. Now, just like when we're doing anything else, we're trying to stay relaxed, okay? So you're trying to stay nice and relaxed. You're not fighting the stretch, you're not tensing, you're not shaking. Okay, we've been in it about a minute. So hold the stretch, don't come out of the stretch. Now, I've got my left leg forward, okay? So I've got my left leg forward. That means I'm going to pin my right arm. I want to get my right arm and pin it just in front of my knee, okay? And what that'll do is really bring your body to twist your body away from your foot, okay? So if you've got the right leg in front of you, it's going to be your left arm you're going to pin to the floor, okay? But the idea is my foot, I'm trying to twist away from it, okay? Holding the stretch and just start to move my chest towards the opposite, away from my foot. And the reason I'm putting my arm there is you'll feel it when you do it. It's going to help pin you there. It's going to help stop you rotating the other way. Okay, so all I've done is I've put my arm, my elbow, my whole forearm on the floor, and I'm just continuing with the stretch, the same fundamentals, but I'm just slightly twisted away from my foot. And that should bring the stretch more into the glutes. You should feel that more in the glutes as we start to twist down. Again, if your groin's that tight, you may well feel that this is just predominantly a groin stretch. And again, that is fine, because that is the area that is restricting you getting into this position in the first place. So either if it's the groin or the glutes or a bit of both, we're still doing the task at hand. Okay, so you're still trying to lower yourself, lower yourself, lower yourself, take it further, take it further. Focus on that breathing and try to relax. Okay, don't just focus on the discomfort of the whole thing. Good, and I want you to slowly ease out of that one. Good. And we're going to change legs. Same stretch, I'll face this way. No, that matters. So leg out 90 degrees in front of you. Back leg, chuck it behind you far enough. Make sure there's roughly 90 degrees. Doesn't have to be exact, but make sure it's behind you well and truly. Keeping the knees on the floor, that's an important one. If you are that tight in at the hip, you're going to find your knees off the floor. I want you to lean into the knee, okay? We want these knees on the floor to get this stretch right. From here, same again, nice and tall, nice and proud, get your posture good, and then lean, 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 okay? So don't just bend forward. Doesn't matter where you put your arm, it's just there as a stabilizer. That's all that arm's doing. And eventually, if you find yourself getting low enough, you just need to move your arm onto the elbow, okay? So I'm pushing down. This foot should not be moving. That foot shouldn't start sliding inwards. If it does, pin it, okay? But it shouldn't. I'm just trying to go further and further, and I'm sinking into the ground. Think about the area that you're stretching out. You can feel the stretch. Try to relax. Try to sink into the ground and imagine gravity's just pulling you down in that relaxed state. Take it further, take it further, take it further. Again, try to keep yourself pretty square onto the knee so that your chest's facing towards your knee and going towards the ground. And after we hit about a minute mark, we'll start to twist away from that foot just to enhance the stretch. So this morning we're working all through the big muscle groups. But the majority of the ones that are tight for most people. Again, we could not possibly do a true full body stretch, every little muscle group, etc. in an hour's class. But we're picking the big ones. We're picking the ones that are commonly tight and the ones that if you're stretching out are going to help benefit you in your movement and the other exercises that we do. Right, okay, so I'm pinning that elbow to the floor. So again, if I've got my right leg down, it's my left arm. And all I'm doing here is just trying to twist away from that foot, okay? And again, you should be feeling the stretch start to creep into the glutes a bit more. If you don't, it's fine. As long as you're feeling enhancement by putting that elbow down and twisting slightly away from the foot, as you continue to try to go towards the floor, you should feel it enhance. If it's really bad, make sure you're staying relaxed, okay? Yes, the stretch is uncomfortable, but make sure you're not shaking, make sure the muscles aren't tensing, make sure you aren't fighting it. If you feel like you've kind of hit rock bottom and you can't go any further, if your flexibility is pretty decent, try and chuck that back leg further behind you. It might help enhance it. Good work. Nearly there. So we're into the glutes. Now we're going to move in to the lower back. So I want you to ease out of that one slowly. Again, if you want to sit up, stand up, walk around, etc., feel free to, but don't disappear. I'm just going to go straight into this one, okay? A good old favourite that's not been done in a while, and this is, again, if you think to our mobility classes where we've got the band round our foot and we come up and we reach across and twist, we do that spinal twist. Okay, a lot of us, that's an individual one where you'll feel it. You'll either feel it, you know, tight in the legs into the glutes. You might feel it in the lower back more. It's the same with this one that we're doing now. Where you feel it is dependent on where you're tightest, but for most of us, you're going to feel it in the lower back. Okay, it's a good one for the lower back, for bringing mobility into the lower back and the muscle groups around it. But where you feel the restriction is really dependent on where you're tight. So I'm going to sit up in this good, nice, tall posture again, chest proud. And then all I'm going to do is get my left leg. I want you to do the same leg as me, because then when I'm talking, it's not going to be confusing. You don't have to try and opposite everything. So I'm going to get my left leg and I'm going to bring it up, okay? And I'm going to bring it across and I'm going to plant it. Now you can see I've got the leg above the knee, only just above the knee, but you should find when you bring it across, if you bring it across high enough, it's going to get wedged in there. Whereas if it's too low, what's going to happen when you start twisting and you apply a bit of force, it's just going to slide, okay? So I want you to get the leg, boom, if you have to grab a hold of it like I've just done, get it high, simple as that, okay? So I've got the leg across my body, and all I want you to do is get your left leg across, right arm, get it in, and push it across more, okay? Happy with that so far? From here, I want you to start twisting the torso, but when you twist the torso, remember, don't let your lazy posture come into it. Don't start sinking down like I'm showing you now. Don't look like me. Stay tall, stay proud, and start to twist away. And you, with the other arm that's on the ground behind me, that's just there again as a stabilizer and to help pin me. So I'm twisting, I'm twisting, I'm twisting. Really get that elbow and push that knee across. It's going to help enhance the stretch. And I'm keeping my chest proud. Remember, we're trying to stretch and mobilize ourselves into the correct position. If you're tight, don't just slump down to go further. Okay, take it to the point in which you feel that tightness. For some of us, it's going to feel all right. For others, it's going to feel hellishly tight. But remember, chest proud, lower back nice and tight, core tight, twist away as you push that leg away from you, okay? So push that leg, twist the torso. We're bringing that thoracic spine rotation into it that we're all familiar with by now. It might feel like a nice stretch. It might feel like a very restricted stretch. Again, it depends on you and where you're at with things. Either way, it's a damn good one for the lower back and bringing that bit of mobility into the lower back and also the thoracic spine. So we're not relaxed. We're trying to take it further and further and further. Good. How are we getting on? Don't move, don't move. I'm just having a look on live. How are we looking? Good. Right, you're happy with that. So you'll find that if you go the other way, okay, you know you're going the wrong way because it'll feel like it's too easy. It feels like there's not much stretch there. Okay, so I've rotated the wrong way now. So if you're ever doing this at home and you're not sure what way you're meant to twist, you're twisting away from the crossed over leg, okay? And you'll feel it. You can't go wrong with this one because if it feels easy, you've probably gone the wrong way. So keep holding it in the correct way. Keep the chest up, proud. Keep trying to pull that knee further across. You might feel it in the glutes. You might feel it in the obliques. You might feel it in the lower back. You might feel it in the upper back. You might feel it in the chest and shoulders. You might feel it everywhere I've just said, in which case, that's fine. Those are the areas that we're targeting. Those are the areas that may be tight. Some may feel tighter than others. Or like I say, your mobility might be fairly decent at this, just feels like a relief. Okay, relax there. How's that feeling, everyone? Feeling okay? It's another option for getting that mobility into the lower back and into that core area, okay, into the thoracic spine also. So it's another variation that we do. Without further ado, we're getting straight into the other side. So I'm taking my right leg, it's across. Again, I recommend that you don't just lift, get a hold of your leg and pull it up, okay? So straight away, as soon as you start to twist, you should feel that that leg is being pulled into your other leg. Sorry, your foot is being pulled into the other foot with the force. The force. Twist. So before you start twisting, chest proud. Then start twisting with that chest proud, okay? You see what I'm doing? Stop laughing at me. Get the chest proud, okay? I'm really making an effort here. Chest proud. Don't let that lower back sump, okay? So that's important here, okay? Don't let this happen in an effort to go further because you're not getting the true quality of the stretch. You're giving into it. So chest proud from the front, and you may feel you're only getting a wee bit, and then you can't go any further, and that's fine, okay? As long as you're trying to go further, as long as you're trying to take it further and further and further, you're just outside your comfort zone, you will improve each time you do this. Goes with anything, okay? You have to put the work in to get better. If you're taking it to the point in which it feels hard and you're not going any further, you're going to stay the same. It's true, and it couldn't be more true in black and white when it comes to mobility and flexibility. So we're really trying to twist, and again, use that other arm. Use that other arm to help pin you, to help pin that twist. When you're in a position, keep trying to self-correct, chest proud, okay? Try and keep yourself nice and proud. If you cramp, it's quite common to get cramp in this position, especially in the hip flexor area. If you cramp, just make sure you're relaxed, okay? A lot of the time you can think you're relaxed, but you're tense. Relax. Twist some more, chest up proud. Keep self-correcting. Keep correcting yourself. So even with stretches, we can get these big multifunctional ones. Okay, so sure thing, we can get our banded hamstring stretch, which is predominantly just stretching out the hamstrings. But then we've got movements like this, like a few we've been doing this morning, pretty much all of them, apart from pretty much all of them. Big multifunctional ones that are attacking multiple muscle groups at once. They're mobilizing you into common movements. Relax there. And it's addressing any muscle restrictions that might be causing that. So that's why we're doing a lot of that this morning instead of just isolated ankle stretches, isolated hamstring stretches. There will be a bit of that, but I'm trying to attack these mobility stretches at the same time. So again, if that was tough, shake out, okay? This next one is tough, okay? You can see what I'm about to do. Maybe, okay? From here, I want you to get the legs nice and wide, okay? And all I'm trying to do, so I'm showing you the setup, and again, chest up tall, chest up proud. It's exactly the same as the one we just done, and I'll show you from the side. Chest up proud, chest up nice and proud, and I want you to lean forwards. Ooh, okay, now the simple way to think about this is I want you to get your chest to touch the floor, ha 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 ha. Okay, but no, then seriously, I want you to imagine that's what you're aiming for. Okay, you need a target to aim for, okay? So I want you on this one. This is where it helps with me because I've got a rubber floor, okay? As I get into this one, I can start using the floor to walk my fingers across. I encourage you to try and do the same, okay? Try and dig your fingers in and just slowly walk, walk, walk to go further. But again, I can see people doing it wrong already. Be conscious of your setup, okay? You're trying to get your legs nice and wide, okay? Don't let your knees, don't let your feet, these are things you have to be conscious of. Don't let your feet cave in like I'm showing you now. As you go into the stretch, you'll find a lot of people cave the legs in, taking the stretch away from the hamstrings a lot. Also, don't let the legs bend, okay? We shouldn't be looking like this. Let's get these legs locked out, nice and straight. So don't try to take it to the point in which you can't. Okay, if you're trying to get yourself almost in the splits and you can't help but bend the knee, just come back in a wee bit, okay? So you should have a good wide stance, but your knees are on the floor, chest proud, start leaning forwards, okay? Let's go for it, everybody. Start leaning forwards. Now, I want you to tuck the chin in once again. Remember, be conscious of these feet. Don't let them fall. Don't let them fall in, okay? You're just simply, all this is a hell of a good stretch in the groin, but lower back's going to be getting it also. Don't let those feet cave in. Tuck the chin in, and imagine you're trying to get the chest. Now, for, again, a lot of people, this one, you won't have to go very far before you feel like, geez, oh, I've gone about a centimetre, and I can't go any further. That's fine. Keep trying to go further. Keep trying to go further. Now remember, with this one especially, do not ease in and out. This is a journey from A to B. Tell yourself that. You've started it, you've taken it to the point you can't go any further, and then you just keep building on it. Focus on my breathing. The muscles that are being stretched out, for most of us, it's going to be the groin and the lower back. Relax them. Think about them. Relax. Take it a wee bit further. Same process. Be conscious of the muscles. Relax. Each time you go further, it's going to get more uncomfortable. So don't be waiting for it to get less uncomfortable, if that makes sense to you. Take it further. Think about the feet. Where's the feet at? Are they caving in? If they are, straighten them up a little bit. Take it further. That's all you're trying to tell yourself. Keep trying to take it further. Stay relaxed. Yep, it's uncomfortable. Focus on your breathing. Don't let the feet cave in. Don't let the knees bend. So it's up to you to take it as far as you can and be disciplined enough to do so. Keep holding, keep taking it further. If you feel you can't go any further, focus on the position you're in. Try to find some sort of relaxation within it. Good. I want you to slowly begin easing out of it, equally coming back up slowly. Don't just fall and roll out of it to one side especially. Good. And once again, it's one of those stretches that when you come out of it, you feel worse than when you went into it. Okay, I want you to get up, I want you to shake out, I want you to walk around. Get a wee sip of water if you need one as I get up, looking like I'm 90-year-old. Right, we're going to get stuck into the groin, but again, using this movement, I'm a big fan of it because you're mobilizing yourself into the position of a squat. Okay, we're going to be moving these hips into the position of a squat. I want you in that big lunge position, okay? We're going for this good old one. Pin the foot with a hand. I'm going to show you. You've taken a big step forward. So see when you're in the position I am at, your hands are in line with your feet, okay? You look at your shin, it should look vertical. It should not look like it's going back, okay? If it's going back, you've no stepped forward far enough. So straight away, the setup for this is full press up position, okay? Pardon me. Try to get yourself nice and in line with the floor. Grab a hold of that foot and then put that elbow on the inside of your knee, okay? So that elbow is just going to gently pull that knee apart. I want you to drive the toes into the ground as if you're squatting so that the foot doesn't start rolling. Drive the toes in. From here, I then want to push my hips. Think about the hips. Push them down towards the ground and then start to lift the chest up. Okay, so again, imagine I had a big logo on my t-shirt. I'm looking at you now on the camera. I'm trying to get my chest up so that you can read that logo on my t-shirt. There's not one, so don't look. I'm just making a point. There we are. You're sitting there going like that. Don't see it. Get chest up. So keep holding. From the side, all I'm trying to do here is, again, push the hips down, lift the chest up. So I'm striving to be able to get in this position and get a nice straight back. It's going to take time. It's going to take practice. If you're like this and you feel you're at maximum stretch, that's fine. But I'm pushing those hips down. I'm pulling that knee out, and I'm feeling myself getting a good stretch in my groin. You're going to feel it in the hip flexor of the back leg if it's tight. But again, it's easy to just hold this and feel the stretch in the hips. I want you to lift that chest up. I don't mean throw your head back. I mean lift the chest up. Like I said, you've got a logo on your t-shirt and you're trying to get it up towards the mirror in front of you. So you're trying to straighten that whole spine. Pushing down, taking it further. Again, a tough stretch, not the most comfortable for many, but that's the whole point, okay? It should be. I want you to take it further and further and further. Focus on your breathing. It's going to very, 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 what? It's going to very, very, very benefit. It's going to highly benefit your squats, this one, okay? So if you're feeling a lot of tightness in at the hip, as we're trying to get down into that squat, okay, we're going to attack any tightness that may be restricting that, okay, within the hips, that is. Then, of course, the ankles comes into it. But for right now, we're attacking any tightness in the hip, okay? Don't move. I'm coming round so you can see exactly what's going on now. Look at me, okay? So I've got my left leg. What I want you to start doing is twisting away, just like we did with the glutes earlier on. I want you to start moving away slowly, okay? Feel the stretch, right? There we go. That's horrible. Each little movement away is getting more intense. Make sure when you're doing this that you don't let that knee start to cave in. So don't start doing this as you move, because all you're doing is moving the stretch as you go. That knee stays in position. I start to twist away. Hips, push the hips down. Really think about pushing the hips down as you twist, because again, a lot of people start to twist away and they'll start to lift up and it feels like it's getting easier. It should feel like it's getting harder as you twist round. Okay, we're trying to enhance the stretch. You can drop down. This is where it becomes your stretch. I want you to explore lowering your torso, moving around into different positions within this twist to try and find any pockets of tightness within the stretch. And then when you're ready, bring it back to the center. And then we're going to go the other way. Okay, we're going to go towards. So I want you to start twisting the chest towards the knee, pulling yourself towards the knee. And if you're able to, which hopefully you should, drop to the elbow, keep this foot flat on the floor and really try and pull yourself in here. Okay, try and pull yourself in. You're going to really bring that into the glutes, into the groin, and it's a hellish stretch. But remember, we're not bouncing, we're moving around, trying to just address any areas of tightness within it, okay? Yes, beautiful, fantastic. And I want you to slowly begin easing out of that one, okay? And I want you to stand up on this one, because I want you to feel the benefits of this one. You should feel as you walk around, you're almost lopsided, okay? That goes to show how much mobility you're lacking, how much you've just unlocked, how much you're lacking on the other side, and you'll probably feel almost like your hips are off balance, okay, because we've only done one side. So let's get into the other side now. Very effective stretch. And again, it's a big multi-joint, multiple muscle group stretch. And it's definitely one that I would say if you find yourself lacking the range on, throw it into your warm-up, okay? Or throw it into your cool-down. But I would say to you, if there's a specific one that you find you're struggling with, a good way to get it into your day is throw it into a warm-up. So at least that way you're getting it done. And you're going to find this improves. If you do this daily, you're going to get good at it pretty damn quick, and you're going to feel the benefits, especially when you're doing things like you're squatting. So again, I'm in this position and I'm trying to get my chest up. So I'm trying to establish the best position first. Make sure you keep the palms flat on the floor. Okay, obviously one on the foot. Don't go onto the fingertips, okay, because all you're doing is lifting yourself up, giving yourself an easier time. Okay, so keep the hand flat, push down, lift the chest up, bit of tension, bit of pressure on the knee, pushing that elbow into the knee to help open up the hips, just like we do when we're squatting. We're pulling that knee apart. Taking it further, taking it further, taking it further, and then establish that good position and try to force that chest up. If the chest doesn't move, that's fine, but you're still trying. Push down with those hips, lift the chest up. Holding that good position. Once you feel, yep, okay, right, I've got a good position here, got a good stretch. Okay, that's when we can start. When you're ready, start moving away. Start moving away from it. Lowering yourself down. And again, you're looking for pockets of tightness. You're looking for restriction. So try to lower yourself towards the ground. Try to twist away more. But make sure this knee stays being pulled apart. It's going away from me. Okay, and make sure you're pushing those hips down, because that's usually the number one culprit. People twist and lift the hips, twist and push the hips down to enhance this one. Good, and then back to the center. And then drop to the elbow and pull yourself in. If you can't drop to the elbow, that's fine. Take it to the point you can. And I'm trying to just simply get my chest towards my ankle, towards my shin area. And all we're doing here is just helping enhance the stretch. Good. And start thinking about finishing up there. And once again, stand up, walk around, catch your breath. Right, so we've spent a good bit of time mobilising the hips, the glutes, the groin. Now we're going to get stuck into a bit of upper body, okay? The best one for the chest, shoulders, biceps, you know it. Okay, another familiar one. It can be done up against a wall, but I'll always recommend you do it on the floor because you're going to be able to roll into it, use your body weight and also gravity. Arms out to the side, okay? And remember, we test and adjust our posture before we go into this one. So get the shoulder blade. Pull the shoulder blade together, as in don't let the shoulder round. So don't let your shoulder round. Pull it, and then start to rotate towards that palm. Okay, straight away. Keep the chest up proud. Keep the shoulder blade pulled together. You shouldn't have to go too far before you feel a damn good stretch here. Okay, and it's a simple matter of what you do with your body's up to you, but I want you to try and enhance that stretch. And I always usually just get my legs, and imagine I'm trying to rotate them the other way, and that just helps get a bit more weight into this stretch. My other arm, I'm just gently pushing into the ground as, again, a stabilizer, but also a good way to enhance the stretch. So once you feel that stretch sensation, it might be in the biceps more. If it's feeling tight, you're definitely going to feel it in the biceps. You're going to feel it into the chest and the shoulders. Okay, so from here, keep the chest proud. Keep trying to roll back further and further and further. And again, focus on that breathing. Be proactive. If you're trying to go further, you're not easing in and out. Do not ease in and out of these stretches. So a pretty uncomfortable one for most. Keep the chest proud. Keep trying to take it further. Enhance it any way you can. And the area that we're stretching out, especially in the chest and shoulder, is where we get a lot of tightness. Bad posture, especially if you're sitting round shouldered, slumped forwards. The chest and shoulder area that we're targeting here becomes shortened, becomes relaxed in that shortened state. So then that stiffness gives you a harder time pulling your shoulder blades together. It gives you a harder time sitting tall and proud, standing tall and proud. Good. I want you to slowly ease out. Okay, back onto your front. You can bend the arm a few times, let the blood flow back into it. Okay, don't need to go up. Simply change sides. Okay, simply change sides. So again, I'm just rolling. Chest proud, shoulder blade pulled together, and I go into it slowly, ensuring that I do just that. I keep the chest proud, the shoulder blade pulled together. Okay, it's very easy to roll into this and let it round out. And then I'm twisting away, keeping that palm fairly flat, trying to enhance that proud chest, and then just focus on taking that stretch further and further. And it's as simple as that. Good work. Slowly ease out. And that is us, everybody. As full body can be in an hour. Hopefully enjoyed it, okay? We spent a lot of time, as we always do, in and around the hips because that's where mostly we're lacking. Use some of them, use some of them. If you really struggle with some of them, throw them in randomly, just like I keep saying with everything to do with mobility. Pick something that you find challenging, keep challenging yourself. If you struggle with the one where your legs are wide apart to go down further, keep doing it. You can do multiple things, okay? You could read a book while you're doing that, maybe. Right, okay, well done, thank you very much. And I'll see you at mobility number 92.